My Hero Academia. You're either reading the manga or watching the anime. Today, as you've read in the title, we're going to be discussing the Todoroki family and the future state of the world of heroes and villains. Some of you might notice that we haven't been doing MHA for a while, or for those that don't know what MHA is, My Hero Academia or Boku no Hero Academia. And now we're back with another one, with another video, another review. Well, not really a review, just our take on how things have been the past month. I'm Mist, and today we got Blitz in the studio. How's the Blitz?
Oh man, everything's well, Happy to be talking about some MHA. Right, let's get it, man.
It's amazing, mate. Let's get into it. Past events, or this past month, has been a rather rough month for a certain hero, a certain somebody, a certain number one, a certain goat, and it's been really rough on him. Not only him, but others that are related to him in general, it's been really rough. He might be someone's favorite hero, if I'm not mistaken. Someone's favorite character, not maybe favorite character, maybe favorite hero, but definitely someone's favorite number one hero right now. This is none other than Enji Todoroki. Blitz, what do you have to say in these current events that have just happened?
Yeah, man, you mentioned it. And yes, everybody, Endeavour is my favorite character in My Hero Academia. But yeah, man, with regards to everything that's been going on, the world is currently in turmoil after the events of the war arc between obviously the heroes and the villains, you feel me? And within those events, everybody knows, if you follow MHA weekly, how things turned out. We got a certain big reveal of somebody being related to the number one hero and one of our main protagonists in the show, which is Shoto Todoroki, right? But man, with regards to everything that's been going on, my thoughts on it is inevitable, or it was inevitable, should I say, seeing how it played out. The reason why I say this is because it's been plotted for a very long time by a specific character. You know it, Toya Todoroki. Comfortable calling him Dabi, but he has planned this out, man. He's been waiting for this to happen, so it was going to happen sooner or later. Hence why I say it's inevitable. And man, he just really, really messed up everything. I remember us having this discussion of while the entire war arc was going on and everything, we're like, yo, bro, after this, Endeavour's surely going to retire as number one. His reputation has been tarnished and just, everything is in turmoil for Enji Todoroki right now. But yeah, man, it's just, him being my favorite character, it's sad to see him breaking down like this, man, in the recent chapters, him crying. We've never seen Endeavour like that. None of us ever thought we'd see him like that. But Endeavour crying, and the only people being there to help him, all right, walk with him through what he's going through right now, obviously, is his family, the people which he neglected, which is crazy.
Yeah, man, I definitely know what you mean. It is really hard to see Endeavour in this place and the way he is right now, it's tough, it's tough being number one, I guess. I guess no one, we always get those quotes where people will be like, it's really hard being alone on the top. And this is like Endeavour, or it was Endeavour, because obviously now his family is willing to like just bring him in and stuff. And that's amazing to see that the fact like, hey, the same people that he neglected, same people that he pushed away and stuff, are just willing to take him back or are willing to help him in this moment. And this is like a really big moment for him and his whole family, in fact. Yeah, it's like a really big moment. And yeah, for those that are unaware, there will be spoilers ahead, so make sure you catch up before you even listen. I guess, well, it's too late now, Philip, bro. You like, oh, what? You just started in. So yeah, it's really hectic to see Endeavour in this state. Like you mentioned, no one really expected him to see him like this. From when we see him, in fact, from when we see Endeavour, we see this tall, proud man, and he knows what he wants. This man that's always shouting, "Shoto!" Like, you never expect him to see him like this. I'm glad that his family is there. But like, who's to blame in this? I'm still a bit confused with that, because I don't want to be one-sided towards this whole situation. But I'm just gonna leave it at that,
Being an Endeavour fan, I understand everything, right, in terms of him on his side. But I also understand the people that blame him, You get me? So I've got a neutral perspective on the entire thing. It doesn't affect my bad. Even though it is part of, his entire story and everything. Like for me, really, it just, yeah, let's just forget about that. But we got some clarification on what actually happened with regards to Toya, man, and the history of the Todoroki family in general. It's finally cleared up, and I'm so happy that it has been raised, that it's not just Endeavor's fault. You feel me? Because you did hear his wife mention as well that you're not the only one to blame for this. You get me? As well as like the rest of the world is just blaming it on Endeavour, throwing it. Because I don't really want to say much, as you know that I'm working on an Endeavour video. But I've got a question for you regarding the flashback, man. And then obviously I've got a follow-up question that just came to mind as well. But what do you think about that? Just the entire flashback, man, that explains everything about the Todoroki family.
If I must be honest, when I first saw that flashback with Toya working his butt off to impress his dad, I mean, I felt sorry for the kid. I mean, he did mention that Endeavour did light this flame underneath him. You know, he did ignite this flame, and he was just like, he just wants this flame to burn even more. I was like, yeah, that's understandable. This kid, when we were kids, we all have dreams and stuff like that. So I understand why Toya is like that. But then, man, it's just, it was sad to see, it was sad. This kid's pushing himself, he's not getting noticed, but he doesn't realize that, he can't continue doing this because he's going to harm himself. But, like, for some reason, I just remembered, No Vaseline by Ice Cube. That one line is like, I'm a man and ain't nobody helping me. It's like, I guess this is his role as a man. Well, he's a kid, but it's his role as a man because he's been given something to do, and that was to beat All Might as the number one hero, and that's what he set himself on. He had a strong focus on that. So, like, it was really, I was really glad to see that everything was cleared up. I was glad to see that it's not just Endeavor's fault. And now we just get to see, hey, it was a quick marriage. And I was like, why, why Endeavour? Why? Also, because I'm like, bro, you shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, man, that entire thing of, Toya saying that dad is the one who lit that fire under me or in me. You feel me? That for me was just like, yo, bro, like, and I understand, as you're saying, I understand where he's coming from, but at the same time, if you look at it from Endeavor's side, Endeavour was doing this, like, the entire thing with Toya from a good place. It's just that he went about doing it the wrong way. You get me? Which is what drove this kid away. You feel me? Because he obviously, when he found out that Toya, of course, has, I'll basically say his mom's body, but his father's quirk, you feel me? And that obviously is going to damage him because his body is obviously designed to take extreme cold and not extreme heat, which is why he burns, right? But Endeavour telling him that just stop, bro. You can't do this or whatever. It was coming from a good place. And as I said, he just went about the wrong way of doing it. And him being a kid took it the wrong way. Dude, I don't understand how a kid, though, was able to finally understand that, yo, bro, this guy actually he's with mom because he wants to make a perfect baby. I'm not perfect. Natsuo's not perfect. Fuyumi's not perfect. But this kid right here, this one that has a half-burnt face, this kid, bruh, like, there's something special about him, right? He's the perfect kid. And I understand, where he's coming from. But he also, like, what I think is that this guy he didn't sit down and think about it as well. His mother obviously wasn't the one to obviously, take him and tell him that, hey, bro, listen, yeah, this is what your father's trying to do, this, and that. She was also a bit afraid of actually, driving this kid away even more than her father did. And he viewed his mother as useless. But yeah, man, just the entire thing about Toya finally getting clearance about what's up with Dabi and everything, man, it's good. It really is good because now people know the full story. And I don't know. I really don't know why people would still blame everything on Endeavour. Like, not so, like, you see, dude, I hate that guy, bro. I'm not even gonna lie to you, bro. He's like my least favorite, member of the Todoroki. I hate that guy, dude. Cause he's just, dude, he's not open-minded, basically. He still has the mindset of this is your fault. Everything is your fault. You get me? Even in the recent chapter when he was talking about how he's like, I'm only doing this for now. until after this entire thing dies out. I'm like, dude, the heck is wrong with you, bro? But yeah, dude, just the follow-up question that I had regarding everything was, how do you feel about that entire thing that went down when Toya was in tears, crying before his parents, and he's like, look at me, right? And he attempts to kill his younger brother. Now, I don't know how people can say that they understand where he's coming from in that perspective, like, that point when he did that. That's where I'm just like, that's offside, completely offside, out of bounds. You don't do that, no matter how much you're hurting. You get me? You don't try to take a sibling's life, right? Especially them not knowing anything, right? But what are your thoughts on that when that happened, when you saw that panel?
Yeah, I mean, sibling rivalry is a real thing. Even I think in the later panel, Toya does mention that he was offside. It was his fault, because Shoto didn't have anything to do with it. I think it was that same night when he was talking to Natsuo. He was like, I get that I went overboard with Shoto because he has nothing to do with it, but Dad and Mom to blame. I think like this whole him wanting to kill Shoto is just neglect, honestly. Because I've noticed Fuyumi is chill. She's pretty chill. I mean, she was the young child at that time. Obviously, she should get attention. In psychology and stuff, people believe that the oldest child, is obviously the first child, and everyone cares about it. And then another child comes in, so it's the middle child, and the parents start caring for them, and then so on and so forth until they get the last child, and the first child always feels neglected. I think that was the same case with Toya, but I know that's not justable, honestly. Like, you can't just go around killing, especially a baby. This dude did nothing. All he did was being born. I mean, if you want to take his anger out, he should have just like flipping punched his dad or something. Because like honestly, Shoto had nothing to do. I didn't like that at all. And just like to add to that, I was really really surprised. I was really surprised to see that this kid burnt down a whole forest.
I think that actually, strengthens your theory about the craziness that Dabi has, that it comes from his mother's side, right? Because Endeavour wouldn't do something like that at all, bro. But yeah, man, you did mention it, that he did say that he was a bit, out of bounds in doing that. But that's sort of contradictory because of what he said when he met Endeavour on the battlefield. And he was like, I want to kill Shoto, this, and that, and everything. You get me? So this dude clearly doesn't know why he's angry. I mean, who he's angry at.
Yeah, just to add to that, for me, like when I see this kid is not even a kid, he's an old man now. For me, when I see Dabi, I realize like I think he did, like I just mentioned, like he did mention that he was out of bounds, but I think that was 3 years, if not 5 years later, after the incident where he tried to kill baby Shoto. And then now he came back, obviously grown up and whatnot with an agenda. I think for Dabi, he like you mentioned earlier at the start of this, actually, you mentioned that Dabi did plan this out from the beginning. He planned this out quite well. And I think what he's trying to do is he's trying to go he's trying to attack Endeavour in a smart way. First take down what his pride and his joy. So that would be Shoto. So take down Shoto and then go down the line and then eventually shatter this man completely. Destroy his image.
That obviously leads to the next part now, right? About what we see happening from here out, onwards in My Hero Academia. Because obviously they're setting up to go and face Dabi as the Todoroki family with the help of this Genus, useless hero, and Hawks, right? The one person who's definitely going to be a weak link in this entire thing. I know people are going to go Fuyumi. I'm talking about like just people who are basically going to fight. So my predictions in that who's actually going to take part in this entire thing, right? Not just, talking, because that's what they're probably going to do. They're going to get there, try and talk things out, and then this dude's going to flip out, and then they're going to end up fighting. So obviously Endeavour and the top three heroes, Todoroki, Shoto. Natsuo, I feel like he's going to be the first dude to be taken out of the fight. We haven't seen anything battle-wise from this dude. Right? So I don't think the females are going to participate. Of course, as I said, they're for the entire talking bit. But yeah, man, what are your thoughts on just how things are going to play out from here onwards? I sort of gave my predictions, sort of. But yeah, I'll answer after you, man.
I've actually been thinking today, like, does not so even have a quirk? Maybe he might, and we just haven't seen it. Yeah, maybe he might have a quirk and we haven't seen it. Fumi, I think we have seen like a glimpse of a quirk. But yeah, in regards to like the battle itself, the the main battle, I think the weak link will be Endeavour, because I mean this is his son. It's not going to be easy for him as a parent, as a dad, to take down his own son. I'm sure it's the right thing to do, but he still loves his son, despite what he might think, despite what he's been through. Endeavour still cared. He still cares, and he forever will care. So it's just like it's gonna be really hard on him as a hero and as a dad, because I'm sure for him it's his fatherly duties come first now. Because we've seen, obviously, at first we've seen that Endeavor's growing. Oh, Endeavour as a person, he was like, I want to be number one hero. I want to be better than All Might. Same thing with Shoto. You kid, you're gonna be better than All Might. You kid, you gotta beat Deku. You gotta beat that kid. You're gonna be the number one hero, and that's all. That's final. Don't tell me anything else. We've seen that. But now, like ever since he fought that normal. I think ever since he met Hawks, in fact, that incident. You remember the incident there where he fought the normal? He was like, hey, he just wants to be a better hero. Even his number one fan, the Can't You See guy, he's like, you're not Endeavour. Endeavour doesn't talk back to his fans. He just continues with his life. Like, where's the attitude? I was like, we see that finally Endeavour is taking a turn. He wants to be better for his family, for his kids. So I really think that's going to be a problem in the battlefield. Yeah. What about your side? Obviously, well, and I think Shoto might just cap it off, and Hawks also might be a weak link. But yep, that's basically it for me.
Yeah, dude, I was actually gonna get to that, the entire thing. Me saying Natsuo was gonna be the first dude out. He's probably gonna be the first dude out. Or he might not even participate, right? Because as I said, I don't like that guy at all, right? But you are right in the fact that Endeavour may be the weak link in this entire thing that's going, the battle with Dabi that's gonna, happen. Because he even says himself, my son is a mass murderer, yet I can't fight him. Right? We saw how he froze. He couldn't believe that his son was alive. Worse than that, his son was a mass murderer. His son was a villain. You are completely right that, as you said, he's a father and everything. And it's going to be tough for him to face his son. And I really do think, as you said, Shoto's going to get the final blow. I do think that it will be Shoto to take down Dabi, right? This character, I'm pretty sure we're in agreement, right? That he's not gonna come back onto the good side, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we're in agreement, right? But if you are looking to be a bit more, on the optimistic side, Dabi's gonna come back to the Todoroki family, and they're gonna be a big happy family, and everything's gonna be. But we all know that's not gonna happen, right? Because he's been hurt way too much. Right? He'd rather die, as a friend of mine mentioned. He would rather die. But you are completely right in that. I don't know how Best Genius fits into this entire fight. He's probably going to be a support guy there. You know how there's support characters when it comes to fighting. But yeah, man, just in general, I do see, like, you know how funny it was for me, right? And the entire thing that happened with regards to Hawks and Dabi when they matched up early on in that entire war arc. And Hawks just pointed out that the reason why this dude is talking so much during fighting is because he's trying to cool off, because he's burning on his skin and everything. Like, I found that so funny because it's like, yo, so this is why this dude is actually talking so much. This is his weakness, actually. You get me? And that obviously may just, be his downfall. But yes, I'm happy that we are going to hopefully get what I've been wanting since the introduction of Dabi. And you know this, that I've wanted to see Shoto versus Dabi, not for any particular reason, but I just wanted to see Blue Flames versus Red Flames, and it looks like it's gonna happen.
Yeah, like the overall Blue Flames versus Red Flame thing. Blue Flames has an advantage because obviously it's stronger than Red Flames, but then in this case we have to consider that Shoto has ice powers too, and he's not gonna overheat. Whilst Dabi could just like go supernova on us, and he end up dying, killing himself, while Shoto will just give himself like an ice shield or something. It's really ridiculous. Like, I really wonder how this fight's gonna match out. I actually forgot about Best Genius. But yeah, Dabi is broken, like you mentioned. He's really, really broken. Like, this dude was crying blood. I was like, damn, bro. Like, you really broke yourself. You broke your spirit. You broke your mentality, and you broke yourself. Physically too. It's sad to see this. But I don't, like you mentioned, I don't just think it's gonna be a factor of him be like, hey, let me join the family again, guys. I'm sorry for everything. You can't be sorry for murdering. Well, you can be sorry, but it's jail, boy. It doesn't matter. Like your mama might love you, your dad might love you, but still.
Right, Toya, man. Toya he's a weird guy, crazy guy. Dabi just in general. Like I said, I rather call him Dabi because like the whole Toya thing is, he was introduced as Dabi. We used to him as Dabi, so don't want to call him Dabi. But yeah, man, the entire world blames Endeavour as expected. Right, they weren't even happy about his coronation as number one hero, except the what was he called again? The Look at Me kid, right? But yeah, bro, so, like, just in general, what do you think, right, is gonna happen, right, in terms of the entire world? How do you think they're going to resolve everything that's going on right now in the world? The entire villains that are running rampant and everything. And we got a panel with heroes from outside of Japan. I believe that that is going to be very significant. I personally, right, when I see a silhouette in anime and manga, it probably means that these guys are going to be revealed later on. So I'm hopefully those guys that are in that panel specifically will return at some point. So they'll be introduced later on. But what are your thoughts on just how everything's going to be resolved from here on out?
Definitely other heroes from other cities and whatnot will come in and help out Japan, you know. And I think that's where it's going now, because it doesn't seem like these people don't do a time skip. Because if they had to, if they had to do a time skip, then it will probably be like the end of Japan, if you think about it. Because these heroes are running rampage, All for One is doing his things, and the chances of them being a safe time skip, that I mean, there's no chances of safety for these civilians. There's no chance of safety for heroes. In fact, there's no chance of safety for anyone. So I think it's going to be heroes from overseas coming in, helping out. Heroes from probably from China, America, and whatnot just coming in. Also, we have to, like, you know, they also have to explain the whole story with Deku. So probably they'll distract us, most likely, you know, distract us with Deku, and then when Deku's done doing his thing, we come back to the Todoroki and be like, meanwhile, this happened and no one was aware. I'm looking forward, you know, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the action, honestly, to the new heroes. I'm sure there's going to be some heavy hitters in this one. Heavy hitters, because All Might is out now. You know, when everyone saw All Might, they were like, yeah, we're safe. But now he's no longer around. So I'm expecting heavy hitters from overseas, Mr. Daniel Shield and all those dudes from those movies to coming in and just, you know, just coming in and dominating. That's what I really expect. I'm really amped for that, I must be honest. But hopefully.
You know, on the entire Deku stuff, bro, I love how when we saw him in the hospital and everything, and everybody else was awake except him, you and I, we both just knew, we are like, this dude's he's talking to those, previous One for All users. Like, that's the only explanation as to why he isn't waking up, you get me? And they All Might mentioned it as well in the recent chapter, that you're probably talking to the predecessors, One for All. But with regards to everything and how it's going to be resolved, you are right. I don't see a time skip anymore. I remember us talking about, like, hey, there's going to be a time skip, this and that, and you are right. There isn't going to be a safe time skip, right? It has to be, they have to come up with a solution real quick on how they're going to, get help from other heroes, as you're mentioning, from other countries and all that sort of stuff. But I've got a theory, man, that I believe Stain will help these guys out, because Stain, in my eyes, is a anti-hero. He's not necessarily a villain. I don't know if you agree with me on this, that Stain isn't necessarily a villain, because he denied, the offer from the League of Villains. I believe that Stain is an anti-hero, and I believe that Stain will help these guys, right? For some reason, I've just got that theory. Probably it's just me wanting to see Stain, right? Because that's just the badass right there. But what do you think about that, man?
Definitely, I do see where Stain does come in, you know? Like, he's gonna help out the heroes, or the real heroes. He is a fan of justice. He's just that, I remember he mentioned that only true hero in My Academia is All Might, because he doesn't work for money. It's not that, he just wants to see justice, and he wants to see the civilians happy. So yeah, definitely, he is an anti-hero, but for me, it's just the killing for me. It just doesn't work out for me. Like, the guy he crippled He crippled that dude's brother. I forget his name. That's the leg guy, the engine kid. I forget his name. He crippled his brother, and I think he killed some heroes, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he killed some heroes. So I'm like 50-50. Like, I do love Stain. I'm not gonna lie. I think he was the best antagonist for My Hero Academia so far. One of the best antagonists.
Yes, dude, I do believe that Stain will help these dudes out. I think he is called the hero killer. It's been a while. Forgive my bad, memory, but it's been a while since we've seen Stain. Right, so I do believe that he was called the hero killer. And dude, just that entire scene, bro, like he was introduced for a reason. That's all I'm gonna say. He was introduced for a reason. I don't believe that he's a character that was just there for that one badass moment and then he disappears. Because we did get to see Stain. I think it was chapter 302. No, it wasn't 302. It was, I think, 300 when we get to see the world in turmoil and everything. Yes, it was 300. We got to see Stain again, him unsheathing his sword and everything. And I'm just like, bro, like, that's when the theory came to mind. Because, like, as you said, he's a fan of justice, just real justice. And I'm pretty sure he's going to be happy about the fall of Endeavour and everything. Because, the only true hero that he believes is All Might. But yes, dude, Stain. I want to see more of him. Great character. Obviously, that entire scene when he went bloodlust crazy, like, bro, and everybody just froze. I was like, damn, that gave me chills, bro.
I would also love to see him in action. I'm actually anticipating that he's gonna come in action. Like you mentioned, that he did pull out his sword and stuff. I'm really hoping that he does pull out. Because we all know that Stain is one of the best characters. I think just overall everyone loves Stain because you can't hate on Stain. And also, I think one major thing that might happen is the reveal of Deku's dad. Maybe he might or might not. But apparently, what I've been hearing is that John Cena is Deku's dad because we can't see him and stuff. So yeah, I guess that's it for today.
Thank you for having me on, your topic since you cover MHA and it's your realm. But yeah, thank you just for getting me in here. I'm just getting my opinions on what's coming up in My Hero Academia and just the Todoroki family in general. By the way, as I mentioned, an Endeavour video is due soon, right? Explaining, because like, as I said, this is a very, very divisive character in MHA. But yeah, dude, just thanks for having me on here.
It was great having you here, and we obviously, I'm sure everyone wants to hear more of you, not to see, because we haven't seen it. We're waiting for a face reveal at 10k subs. But yeah.
Hermañado. Voy a la playa, había subido la marea.
It was great having you here. So yeah, thanks for your opinions. Thanks for your say, because it's great to hear. Actually, it's great to hear what others have to say about something, because they might know more, and just sharing information is really amazing. So yeah, thanks guys for watching. If you want to see more of Blitz and more of these type of videos, then smash the like, and if you dislike it, smash the like still. And yeah, that's it from us. Like, sub, do whatever it is that you want to do. Feel free. Like I always say, what you know about anime, boy?